It is 1 o'clock. Welcome back in. This is Three-Man Front on Jocks. Pat, Molly, Landrum live here at Social Taco. Conrad back high atop Red Mountain at the studios of WJOX Radio. Thanks for tuning us in on this. It looks like it's turned out to be a pretty good day. Sun is now out.
It's a great day. Christopher, one of our great Jocks listeners, haven't seen him since middle of the football season on a Tuesday. We'll find out where he's been in the break, but it's good to see Christopher.
Yeah, it's good to see so many of you that have been able to come up and enjoy the festivities today. A lot of conversation, a lot of football talk as we're kind of transitioning from the college basketball season as Alabama was eliminated. We will have Auburn talk coming up on Thursday as they're playing in the NIT Final Four for the most part. We are fast-forwarding to now the spring football season. Before we know it, we'll be in Tampa, Florida at SEC Football Media Days, and we had a conversation earlier with Eli Hoff, who covers the Missouri Tigers. Mizzou's done. Their spring is done. They did not have a spring game this year because of the stadium refurbishments that they're having there in Como, so they did not have a spring game.
I give a lot of credit to Eli Drinkwitz to be able to land not only some of the talent that he's been able to land, but to go and identify some of that talent. I know that they were on Ahmad Harley early in that process, and that was maybe before any of the other SEC schools. They kind of caught wind what he was doing in his freshman year at La Monroe. But Austin Simmons at quarterback, Pat, if Austin Simmons, and we know that he's smart and he's got a big brain, but if he shows what Ole Miss thought that they had in him prior to the injury and Trinidad Chambliss and his emergence, the Whiteouts, that offense is going to be fine.
And you remember Eli Drinkwitz got that $10.75 contract extension.
Well, that's why I asked him. I said, where is fan sentiment versus administration sentiment? And he said 6, 7, maybe 8 on the high side for the fans, but an absolute 10 and could not be higher with administration. They know what they got there.
Eli Drinkwitz is now one of the highest paid coaches in all of college football.
God bless America.
He is in the top 10. He's got a new offensive coordinator, Chip Lindsey, comes over from Michigan. Of course, we know Chip Lindsey, Spain Park High School, obviously at Auburn, called plays
Troy,
for a season or so.
North Carolina.
Austin Simmons, QB1. He was named the starting quarterback at the finishing part of spring practice. You got sophomore Matt Zellers. He's the backup quarterback. Connecticut transfer Nick Evers. He's also in that quarterback room. But I go back to the running backs at Mizzou this year. When you have Ahmad Hardy coming back, over 1,600 yards rushing, 16 touchdowns, number one rusher in the SEC. Then you bring back the 10th best rusher in the SEC in Jamal Roberts, who had 753 yards rushing, which was 200 yards plus more yards than Jam Miller, who was the number one running back at Alabama last year. So the number two running back at Mizzou had 200 yards more rushing than Alabama's number one running back.
And then you add to that Austin Simmons, who is a threat to run and can run if he needs to. Yeah, the offense is going to be fine. The issue for Missouri, can you score enough points? Because defense is going to take a hit. Yeah. It's already taken a hit.
Yep. Their schedule, as you mentioned earlier, I mean, they start off with Arkansas, Pine Bluff, at Kansas. They got Troy at home, at Mississippi State. But then it gets – here's the piano part. You got Florida, A&M, at Ole Miss. Wouldn't that be interesting? Austin Simmons going back, taking on Trinidad Chambliss. Then you're at Arkansas. You got Texas at home, but you got to go to Athens. You play Kentucky at home, not in Lexington. And then you got Oklahoma at home. So that's how you finish.
Yeah, I think worst case scenario, Missouri next season is 6-6. But I only see their ceiling given that schedule. Oh, I'll go ceiling with Eli being 9. But I think I'd settle somewhere around 7.5, 8 wins.
Yep. So, interesting interview. If you missed that, you can always download the Three-Man Front podcast as Eli Hoff joined us from the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. Also, the head football coach of the UAB Blazers, Alex Mortensen. Great conversation with Mort. If you missed that, you can also go back and listen to that in its entirety. Also, Mike Griffith from DogNation.com. Programming note, tomorrow at 12 noon, the former head football coach of the Auburn Tigers, Terry Bowden, will be a guest on this program tomorrow. Also, the Southern Gentleman Memphis's own, Ole Miss's own, Brett Norsworthy will join the show at 12:30. Get his feelings on the college football playoff, the committee, and Hunter Yurachek coming back for a second year as the main chairperson of that committee. I know.
That could be his only gig here in just a little while.
So
just like a permanent member.
So I just saw Ben Portnoy, a good friend of the program from the Sports Business Journal. He tweets out that the Big 12 is exploring women's flag football as an officially sponsored sport.
Let's do it.
Woo!
The plan is for a competition to begin in 2028 with a minimum 6 teams and is being vetted as part of the league's partnership with the NFL. How about that? How long before the SEC puts some teams in?
I don't know, Pat, because we're still trying to get more beach volleyball teams that are playing. And I would think cost-wise, as far as setup, flag football might be more economical, but it's not much for a beach program.
Yeah.
We've got a couple.
Yep.
But for the SEC to do it, I could see actually that sport because it's pretty popular here in the state of Alabama at the high school level.
Very much so.
Yeah.
The talent is off the chain in the state of Alabama.
I think that it probably happens before the other any other sport. And I think mainly though it's not only the buzz, the interest, the tie-in to the Olympics, but it's startup cost.
Yeah.
And if it's not costing you that much and you've got people that want to play, put it out there.
Yeah. All right, I got to get your opinion on something. I have already voted. I don't think that
I've already voted, I think.
I don't think I've gone against. Did you vote this morning?
No, not for that one. Sorry. I voted for the other one.
Okay, so I vote for the Nick Saban Legacy Award.
Okay, that was the one.
Is that the one you voted for?
Yeah, but I voted for it last week.
Did you? I did not last week, so I did it this morning. So you're not eligible to answer this question.
Okay.
But I want Molly and Conrad to help me out. And we'll see how you voted. So, okay, so you and I were different. Okay, good. All right, so here's my 5 choices, or me and Landrum, we had these choices to vote.
Okay.
For the Nick Saban Legacy Award. They were Barry Alvarez, Mac Brown, Urban Meyer, R.C. Slocum from Texas A&M, or Bob Stoops from the University of Oklahoma. If you had a vote for the Nick Saban Legacy Award, who would you have placed your vote for?
Can you read the options again?
We can only pick one?
You can only pick one.
Okay.
Barry Alvarez, Mac Brown, Urban Meyer, R.C. Slocum, Bob Stoops.
I would have to vote for Urban.
Molly?
Would I go Urban or Stoops?
So which one?
I'll go Urban.
Okay. I voted Urban.
Okay.
3
Like
national
you guys.
championships is hard
Right.
to deny.
That's hard to.
Yeah.
Landrum, you voted for?
Mac Brown.
Not a bad choice.
Nope.
No, very good choice.
I went Urban because of his national championships. Yes, Mac Brown won one national championship at the University of Texas. But, yeah, I don't personally care for Urban.
That's what that impacted my vote.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just Mac Brown the person versus Urban Meyer the person.
Sure.
Yeah.
And another thing that impacted it was Mac Brown doing what he did at North Carolina when he did it, and then doing what he did at Texas and actually getting them a national title, but then going back to North Carolina and still having some bit of success.
They were pretty good.
As opposed to what you think about the quarterbacks that he was able to get while he was there. But no, Mac Brown, just a gentleman and a guy that I've always respected, and I hope he wins.
So if you had 2 votes, would you have gone Urban or Bob Stoops?
Bob Stoops.
Okay. I think all 3 of them are deserving.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see who ends up winning the Legacy Nick Saban Award. Speaking of coaches, the coach rankings, we talked about them about 2 weeks ago. Stuart Mandel and Bruce Feldman of The Athletic, they always come out with their annual list of coach rankings. And if you combine their 2 rankings, they both had Kirk Cignetti as the number 1 choice. Well, they also threw out there to the readers and subscribers to The Athletic, okay, give us your list of coaches that you think is the very best. Kurt Cignetti was number one. 67% of the folks voted Kirk Cignetti as the number one coach. Coming in at number two was Kirby Smart. People can't really debate that. Ryan Day was third. Dan Lanning was fourth. Now, this is a combination of both Stuart Mandel, Bruce Feldman, and the subscribers to The Athletic. So this was a large group of the survey. So Cignetti 1, Smart 2, Ryan Day 3, Dan Lanning 4, Marcus Freeman was 5th. Conrad, where do you think Kalen DeBoer was? He was in the top 10.
Yeah. Based on I'd say he's number 6.
Number 6. Well, you're right. Kalen DeBoer came in at number 6 according to this poll, followed by Mario Cristobal, Kyle Whittingham, Steve Sarkisian, and Lane Kiffin. You think Lane Kiffin might send out a tweet irritated that he's behind Steve Sarkisian, Kyle Whittingham, Mario Cristobal, Kalen DeBoer?
I don't know why he should. All those other guys have at least played for a conference championship.
He's never won a playoff game.
That is true.
Never coached him.
Never coached one. You're right.
As a head coach. No, what should Lane be complaining about? He's
I don't see anything on his socials, so.
maybe he'll finally do it at LSU.
Has he posted any hot yoga from Baton Rouge?
Maybe he'll do what his buddy Pete Golding was able to do.
I don't think so.
What about pictures of him and Kirby playing pickleball?
Now, he has posted that.
He was at a concert.
I would love to know what kind of concert he was at.
I would too. I bet I'll stop.
No,
Don't.
what were you going to say?
No, go ahead.
Who
No,
was
I was just saying it's probably not I would not think that the musical act that he went and took in was probably something that people would generally associate with me and Pat's age group.
Oh, so you think he's at like a Sabrina Carpenter
I think he
concert?
trended younger, yes, and I think he was at the concert scouting talent. If you want me to throw it out there, yes, that's what I think Lane Kiffin was.
No,
doing.
he just took his daughter and her sorority sisters. He's being a good chaperone.
You think he chaperones many
Collective eye roll from everyone listening to this program.
You think he chaperones a lot of events there at his daughter's sorority house?
Yes.
Let me ask you, Conrad, if you had a daughter, you go over and stay at good old Lane's house? 21-year-old daughter? Yeah,
Would I
sorority
want my
sister?
daughter
Oh,
to
it's
stay
all
at
fun.
Lane's house? Heck no.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No.
But yeah, maybe he does it.
Yeah.
Where,
Maybe so.
where's Lane on the list?
10th.
10th.
Molly,
Yes.
is his daughter still dating Whit?
As far as I know.
As far as we know, okay.
Mhm.
I just want to make sure that him taking
She
the
got
job
a
didn't
lot
come
more
in between
options
the
down
job.
there in Baton Rouge now. I think she was limited. Was it 3-1? Is that still the ratio? Pat, Ole Miss, 3-1, female to male.
Yes.
Why don't you
I
get you a
suppose-
quarterback like Sam Levitt?
I still
That's a good
cannot
boy.
get out of my head the fun fact that we were given that Sherman actually was the first president of LSU after burning down the South. Just another feather to stick in your I 8 LSU hat.
All right, we will continue on. We'll be here until 2 o'clock here at Social Taco. This is Three Man Front on Jocks. It is 1:18 here on Jocks. Welcome back into the program on a gorgeous looking Tuesday. We'll be back in studio tomorrow. Terry Bowden will be one of our featured guests tomorrow. Also the voice of the Alabama Crimson Tide, Chris Stewart, as we put a bow on the college basketball season for the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Well, if you can't make it out to Social Taco, go and check out our friends at Big Whiskeys. You can catch the rest of the tournament action. They have some great food with plenty of big screens and a full menu to please everyone, plus the most extensive bar in town. The outdoor patio and game area is great for families. So go see Big Whiskeys. They're in the Stadium Trace Village near the Hoover Met, but they're also off of Tattersall Park, off of Highway 280 as well. Our friends at Big Whiskeys.
What was that song to coming back? Was that The Hills? What was that? It sounded like one of those.
That's
That was,
Sabrina Carpenter.
Yes, Sabrina Carpenter.
It's one of Lane Kiffin's favorites.
Oh. Okay.
Or his girlfriend's favorites, or his
Probably his daughter, too.
friend's favorites, or whatever.
Okay. I knew there was a tie-in somewhere. I wasn't sure where it was.
Does that
Sabrina
clear
Carpenter.
things up?
Well, the song's called Man-Child, so.
Interesting. If you missed the worst thing that we have seen, Molly tweeted this out at the number 3-man front on Twitter, the god-awful Miami Marlins jerseys from the weekend. The reason we started talking about that is because the Braves released their new City Connect jersey.
And it's a good looking.
Yeah, it's a great jersey.
Mm-hmm.
But the Miami Marlins, it's bad stuff. Not good at all. I'll tell you what, let's do some Pat Ponders here.
Yes.
I got questions. They give me answers.
I am Jones and Pat.
This is Pat Ponders.
I want to know what you're thinking. Tell me what's on your mind.
It's time for Pat Ponders.
All right, so were you really jonesing?
Yes. You see my. I need it.
Is that what it is?
Yes. Ask him really slow.
Ask the questions really
Yes.
slow?
In
Is
an
that what you
accent.
said?
Yes.
What kind of accent do you want?
How do you think that the player that Auburn just got from France would talk? I know that how Conrad would say that he talks, but can you do a French accent?
Me?
Mhm.
No.
All
I
right.
did take 1 year of French, but no.
You gave it up after the kissing? You're done with it?
Well, I had that down pat. I had to move on to something else.
Exactly.
All right, question number 1. So far in Major League Baseball, base thieves have been successful 85% of the time. How about that? If you steal a base in Major League Baseball, 85% success rate. Meanwhile, ABS challenges against umpires are successful at a 54% clip. So when the season is done, which will have the higher success rate? Will it be base runners trying to steal a base or ABS challenges?
It's base runners trying to steal a base, and one of the reasons is there's some of these catchers that just aren't very good at the ABS. Mm-hmm. And I will raise my hand right now. We got Jonah Heim, catcher for the Braves. He struggled with it just a little bit. Got one right, finally. It was the first one last night. And then a couple innings later, he started feeling froggy, and he called for another one, and it was a good 2-3 inches below the bottom of the zone. So, yeah, I think it's going to be base runners, their success rate of stealing bases versus the ABS, because there are some teams that just aren't good. You said that your team hasn't even used it yet.
No, they haven't.
That's unreal.
Yeah, it is.
Conrad's team's perfect. I think Conrad's
They went
team's
5 for
got-
5
last
in one
night.
inning
Yeah.
last night.
That's nuts.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to go with the ABS just because early on, obviously a lot of the ones we're going to see are the successful challenges. But I feel like they've got a pretty good track record. The batters know the zone pretty well, and so do the catchers and pitchers. I feel like it's going to have a very high success rate.
I'm just worried our guy is going to be gun shy, and it now it seems like it's gotten in his head, and that once he starts seeing them or he gets them wrong so often, then he doesn't want to.
But once he sees one go in, Landrum, it's going to be boom, boom, boom.
Hey, he had that happen last night, Conrad, and then 2 innings later, he calls for another one, and it's 3 inches below the bottom of the zone, not even close. Sorry, Molly, go ahead.
He's just trying to help his pitcher out.
No, you're good. I think it'll be base thieves as well. I think they'll have a higher percentage.
Yeah.
Success rate, at least. Yeah.
I've never seen 85% success rate stealing bases.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is unbelievable. So far, batters, when they have challenged a ball and a strike, 46% success rate. Catchers, when they do it, it's 63%. Meanwhile, pitchers are not having very good luck. Only 25% of pitcher challenges so far in the ABS system have been successful.
Yeah.
So,
I would think that would be the toughest one, too.
all right, let's stay
Probably
on the
decipher.
baseball front. Aaron Boone of the Yankees, Conrad's team, he has led the American League in ejections 5 years in a row. So the question is, have you ever been ejected from a sporting event as a player, coach, or a fan?
Nope.
That does not surprise me.
I have not.
Surprisingly for me, I have not.
What?
Yeah, surprisingly. Molly, I'm only 30. I've got a lot of life left
No,
to
that's
live.
true.
Yeah. Something now, I have not been ejected, but when I was a little league umpire for a couple of years back in high school, I did get to throw a parent out one time.
Yeah.
That was
That's
exhilarating.
Did you put him in the parking lot?
That was exhilarating. Oh yeah, no, well, it was t-ball when I was doing that, and
Yeah.
I mean they're getting mad at.
Yeah.
I mean you
So
gotta follow the rules.
You give them the business right back.
Yeah, you gotta follow the rules.
Get in your box, Buster.
That was
Yeah.
the peak of my career
I never got
as
ejected.
an umpire.
I didn't. I think I told you this one time. I was running to first, and this was in Park League ball, and I knew that it was a hard hit ball, shortstop. But they had a good shortstop, and I knew he was going to clean it up. I was going to be thrown out. First baseman, though, inadvertently puts his foot on top of the bag instead of hugging next to the bag. So I intentionally slammed my foot on top of his as I was making a very demonstrative pounding bag with foot, and umpire did not like it. Gee, he should have thrown me out.
I
didn't.
almost got ejected one time in high school because I played catcher and somebody tried to cleat me at home plate, and it was a play at the plate. He comes in, spikes up, and so I headbutt him with my catcher's mask and made him bleed. But the umpire, he was like, I should call you out, but I saw him try to spike you, so I'll let you have this one.
Hey,
Wow.
all kinds of crazy stuff going on in Hayden.
Don't mess with me. That was in Walker.
Oh, that was a yeah.
He was asking for it.
Yeah.
You guys are way too good.
What about you? Did you get ejected in your adult league?
What do you think?
I know you did.
Yes.
How many
I
times?
was about to say, how many times is the more appropriate question?
I was ejected once.
Who's that odd hothead Oz that comes out here every Wednesday?
I was ejected once at as a player. I was a pitcher. I was arguing balls and strikes. I got tossed. And my dad was out of town. And I'll never forget when my dad got back home, had one of those Pete Rose and Pete Rose's dad's conversations.
Yeah. How'd that go?
I never was thrown out again as a player.
I bet.
I never opened my mouth again
Yep.
as a player. Now, as a coach, I was ejected twice in All-Stars.
Yep.
Once at Shades Mountain, once at Morris.
So did you ever have something happen where one of your boys, when you were coaching them, maybe something went against them and you wanted to, step up and protect them a little bit and you got tossed for it?
No, I usually was pretty quick to be the one that started opening my mouth. That's why now I have never ejected someone as an umpire. All these years of me umpiring, I've never done it because,
Well,
being in that situation, I will give them a lot of leeway.
Well, I would give them leeway too, Pat. It was just always that one guy who wanted to get cute, who wanted you tell him stay in the box. He wanted to hug the line or tap his foot outside. That childish nanny boo boo. I just wouldn't have it. We'd have a conversation. I'd just let him know. Look, it's hot. This is my fourth game of the day. I'm behind the plate. I'm not putting up with any of your crap.
Well, the two times that I was ejected in All-Stars,
And they respected
there were
it.
no warnings.
Yeah.
And I didn't say a magic word. I was just being a smartass. I know that shocks you.
I can't believe this.
I know.
This is a whole nother side of it.
She's never seen this.
I figured it was in that Birmingham Southern League when you guys would go out and play at Rickwood, the Wooden Bat League.
No, I was good to go when we played the Over the Mountain and stuff like that. Because in that time, kids are near a high school age, and it's just like.
One of the reasons why, though, and you go back to your dad, the reason why my mom was a teacher, and she always sided with anybody who was of authority, whether it was a coach, whether it was a teacher, and it didn't matter if sweet little Andrew was doing nothing wrong. The adult was always right, and I subscribe to that philosophy. And my mom, and I appreciate the way my parents brought me up. But I knew if I showed my butt, that the scene would be a million times worse, because my mom would embarrass me in front of the entire park. She would make it a point where I didn't do it again.
Well, it's a great point, and it's a great teaching moment. So last night, in between, I umpired 2 games last night, and after the first game, as the players had done their handshakes, there was one player on one team would not shake the hands of everybody else in the line. He walked the line, but he did not give a high five to the kids. And so their parents, to their credit, who was sitting behind the fence, they realized that their son was not showing good sportsmanship. And so after the 2 teams had already left for the dugout, those parents made that kid leave their own dugout and go back over and interrupt a player meeting after the game.
Good for them.
Wow.
To shake the hand of the kids that he would not shake during the line.
Did you
after
not?
the game.
Did you not want to, after watching this, just clap?
Yeah, I mean, it was great sportsmanship based on the fact that
Yeah.
the parents were trying to prove a point and a teachable moment to their son. So yeah.
And,
All right.
and you know what? Probably a teachable moment for the team that he had to go walk over and disrupt their meeting. No, that's good.
All right, final question. BB's not here today, but I will give a question. A system malfunction at a Pennsylvania car wash caused a woman and her car to be trapped inside for nearly an hour.
Whoa.
She attempted to use an emergency button inside the wash, but it was not working either. Finally, she called the police and was freed by officers and the business owner, who was very apologetic and gave her a stack of gift cards. The question from BB, have you ever been stuck in a car wash or experienced anything unfortunate in a drive-through service?
I was in a toll line one time in Florida.
A toll line?
Yes. And it was backed up everywhere, and our toll booth went out.
Oh, no.
So what'd they do?
After a lengthy delay, and it was stacked up. So there was no, hey, I'm going to go and get in this other line. After a lengthy delay, they started waving people through. It's like, you want to hold us up for 30 minutes to try to get your whatever machine, or I don't know what was going on, instead of just waving us through. But no, everybody got the free toll in my lane for at least that one.
Yeah, my biggest fear is, like, if you're in ever one of these drive-through lines, like at a fast food place, and they've got the line is actually to the point to where if something were to happen to, like, your car, like, you could not get out.
You couldn't get,
Like,
I know what you're talking about.
Like, you're stuck. I always have this fear that my car's just going to, for whatever reason, just go dead, and then what happens?
Have you ever gotten into a line and then realized I've made a bad mistake, but then you couldn't get out of the line?
Yep.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Molly.
No, mine, I was at a certain fast food establishment, and it was a really busy day, and they were just really slow this day. And something like their card machine wasn't working. I don't even know, but I was parked at the window for quite a while. And, I had my window rolled down. I'm waiting for them to figure it out. And the person that was taking my order tried hitting on me and asking for my phone number. I was like, this is not the time or the place to do, no.
Wow.
And I just slowly rolled up my window until they got it figured out. It was really awkward.
Yeah, that's a bad one. I got stuck in an elevator, but that's not a drive-through. That's probably the worst place I've ever been stuck before. I did have one time where you know how sometimes like you order a soft drink and they don't put the lid on properly. I've had that happen before, where person hands the drink through the window, and I guess I've learned now to grab it by the bottom and not the top. Lid was not on it, and I dropped a entire drink in my lap in my car before, and that's
My uncle
not
actually
great.
had his windshield of his truck broken out in a car wash.
Oh, that's awful.
And it was just the way that you would think it would happen. You know, the big one that comes down from the ceiling?
Yeah, the big roller
that
thing?
hits your hood and your windshield. Something manufactured piece of the steel from the arm of that thing had come loose, and the way that it hit it, broke his windshield while he was in there.
That is
So he
today's
got a
Pat
free shower.
Ponders.
He got a free wax and shine.
All right, we will continue on. Three-man front. We're live at Social Taco. We'll wrap things up. We'll get to your text messages. We haven't read many of those this afternoon. We've been very busy. All that next on Three-Man Front.
Welcome back. Three-man front live on this Tuesday in the square in Homewood at Social Taco. Landrum, Pat, Conrad, and Molly hanging out with our great Jocks listeners. You can be a part of that each and every Tuesday. So we broadcast from 10 until 2. How about our friends at Crafts on 280? Crafts made by Alabamians, originating here in the state of Alabama. Yes, they've got great fried chicken, but Crafts is so much more than just chicken in a box with some fries and some sauce that's been replicated by companies across this country. No, Crafts, it's actually got stick-to-your-ribs homemade sides that you can go with as well. How many of those other places are doing homemade squash casserole, macaroni and cheese, gravy, biscuits? They do it all there, but they have healthy options. You can go with a wrap. You can go with something cool for the warmer weather. And how about the frozen cocktails that they offer there at Crafts on 280 as well? It's in the old Wendy's location. If you're familiar, near the Hollywood Boulevard exit, 280 coming towards Birmingham. It'll be right there on your right. It's Crafts 280. Check it out. You're going to be glad you did. And, folks, moms, we're talking about baseball, and we got All-Stars and travel ball starting. If you're responsible for lunch, snacks, all of that stuff, their catering department does a wonderful job as well. It's Crafts 280, craftsbhm.com for more information.
Let's get to your text messages. Many of you have texted in throughout the show. 205-834-9450. That is the phone number, and, of course, our wonderful text line.
Going back to drive-through mishaps, this is Tim. He said he was at a drive-through, and it was taking forever. All of a sudden, an older gentleman and his wife and an employee came rolling out of the door. Old guy gets up, does the Ollie shuffle, and tells the much younger employee he was going to knock him out. Police pull up.
Wow.
Most of the employees inside run out the back door, hid behind the dumpster, and I asked one of them what was going on. They said they all had warrants and were hiding behind the dumpster till they left. Made the Atlanta Nightly News, LOL.
Wow.
That is crazy.
Oh, no. Don't let my wife hear this because we want to go there this summer. I do. Once got stuck on top of a roller coaster at Cedar Point in Ohio with my 13-year-old son for 2 hours, and it stormed for an hour in.
Oh, my goodness.
I was scared, but I had to be calm for my son. Oh, gosh.
That's horrifying.
Cedar Point, and I told you, because Michael here, she and her family, they went. She said, if you're a roller coaster enthusiast, that is the place to go.
Cedar Point's awesome.
Well, don't they have like the fastest roller coaster in the world or in the
They've
United
got,
States
like,
or something?
One of them, yeah.
It's the who's who of roller coasters that you can get thrills to your heart's content. But sitting on top, I'm just imagining one of those coasters. I mean, just think about any of them.
Mm-hmm.
Sitting there on top, exposed, and then weather on top of that, and a storm rolling in. Yikes. From the son of a former executive director of Dixie Youth Baseball, thank you for your support of sportsmanship. That text coming in. Well, you're welcome. Tell Conrad to leave my mom, Faye, alone. This is why his pool is messed up.
Wait, what? We have Faye's son or daughter?
Faye's
now?
We haven't determined if it's son or daughter. This goes back to I can't operate on this child. It's my son. I don't know.
The plot thickens.
It does. Steve says, wait, what? Worst place Conrad was stuck in an elevator? What about the cave?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, that was
What?
way worse than the elevator. I kind of try to remove that from my memory.
I got stuck on Splash Mountain one time. That was not very fun. And it was right where the part where, like, the bees are singing the song. Yeah, it was really annoying.
Someone says, I got stuck in a bad marriage. Does that count? Sure. Yolanda Richardson was in another fast food place. In the car in front of me, stalled, couldn't move for 20 minutes.
Oh.
Ryan says, I've never been tossed, but I about did coaching park and rec while stealing second base was continuing to be in the baseline. Our kids kept slowing down to avoid them, so finally I yelled at the kid after he stole second to run the kid over if he's in the baseline. I've heard that before. That never goes over well with opposing coaches or parents.
No, and we've had
We'll move out of the baseline.
yeah.
See, you're the parent that I'm over there, and I'm having to pull to the side, and Pat is too. And
Yeah, so
now,
we're not
that's-
doing that.
We're not doing that. We're not
No.
doing that because this is what's going to happen, Conrad. See, Bobby, his daddy over there, Dale. Dale is going to threaten to kick your ass if your son does that to his son.
No, it's very simple. If I hear a coach say that, I'm walking over there and say, okay, here's how this is going to work. The moment that someone lowers their shoulder and goes into a kid, he's going to be automatically out. And then I'm throwing you out of the game because I heard you give instructions to make contact with another player. That's pretty simple. So,
No, that's when you just plunk the second baseman the next time he comes with the bat.
The way I looked at it is all parties involved. If you're trying to make my afternoon or evening even more difficult as an umpire, you're all gone. I don't have time for this. File your protest. I only had to throw out one player ever. It was high school. And he deserved to be thrown out.
Was he talking trash or he hurt somebody?
He's just a punk. Yeah, he was
Just a punk.
Well, he was trying to get pitcher to throw at batter
Ah, gotcha.
openly. So I had to have the conversation with the pitcher. Then I had to come back, and then he tried to tell me I couldn't tell anybody what to do, and then I promptly told him to leave. And he did. He had to. Always appreciate the text. 205-834-9450. Keep the text rolling in. We read all of them. Only a portion of them make it to air.
So this just in, Mark Few has been voted into the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame. 63 years old, built one-of-a-kind story there at Gonzaga, turned a small Jesuit school into one of the biggest brands in college basketball, 2 NCAA title games. He has won 773 games, 44 league titles.
Wow.
It's pretty amazing. He's being named to the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame, and he's still coaching.
I'm trying to remember. Is he the one that has the relationship with Greg Byrne, or is it Altman? Trying to remember. There's a tie-in. They're the West Coast with Greg Byrne. I'll figure it out.
He was at
continue
Arizona,
live.
so maybe.
We'll continue live from Social Taco here in the square in Homewood. You can join us. Always check out socialtaco.bar for all the latest information and special events. We got Cinco de Mayo that's going to be coming up before you know it, and the half-off happy hour, 3 to 6, Monday through Friday, out on the patio. Social Taco, once again, .bar for more information. As we continue here on this Tuesday, beautiful Tuesday, it's turned into three-man front on Jocks. Three-man front, we continue from Social Taco here in Homewood. We've had, well, I guess Stan's been here almost 5 hours now. Matthew is logging about 3.5 along with Mary. There's Larry still hanging out, but we appreciate our friends Dave and all the folks, Michael, for taking care of us each and every week at Social Taco. It's a special time for us, and we couldn't do it without you, our great Jocks listeners. He sees good, he sees bad. Apparently Conrad has seen something bad besides the Marlins uniforms. This is the worst thing that Conrad has seen.
This is the worst thing I've seen.
Been in quarantine, and I need to get out and party. Woo! What's better than beach and a few drinks and Jeeps? Man, it can't get better than that. Law enforcement's definitely made their visitability and made people chill out and not be as crazy.
The cops are doing their job as long as they don't be mean to people who are actually being innocent. Then I'm all gravy, baby.
Well, we've got local ties to this one today, ladies and gentlemen. That always makes it a little more interesting, right?
Boy.
All right, so we're going to go back to last Thursday, which was March the 26th, for anybody keeping tabs at home there. Last Thursday around 11 p.m. in the Gulf Shores area. What was last week, Landrum?
That was the NCAA tournament.
Okay, yes, it was. It was also spring break for many people.
Oh. All right.
Many
and
people.
This was in Gulf Shores.
This was in Gulf Shores. So what happens at spring break in Gulf Shores?
Well, but before we start, that has been a point of contention. I thought that Gulf Shores did not want spring breakers there.
Well, they do not, and that is going to tie into this perfectly.
All right, perfect.
So I don't know if the lovely lady on the intro there was involved in this one or not, but she obviously likes to have a great time, just like many other young people that go down to the beach for spring break. Well, last Thursday in Gulf Shores, officers were called to a home on West Beach Boulevard after getting many reports of a large crowd and loud music. So a house party of sorts going on down there for spring break. When the police arrived at the home, they discovered over 100 underage kids attending this house party. According to police detective Carl Whitstruck from the Gulf Shores PD, he said, "We found 113 people inside the house. Our officers responded to the scene to investigate the reports. After authorities arrived at the home, one individual reportedly dumped beer over an officer's head, soaking his uniform and police equipment. While trying to determine who had rented the property, a person on a balcony above the front entrance decided to dump the beer on the officer, according to one of the people there on site. So they ultimately had to call in officers from 3 different local agencies to arrest 109 kids for underage drinking at the party.
Wow, at that point, are you not procuring a local school bus from...
Yeah, I don't know how you're transporting all of these kids.
You're loading them on the cheese wagon.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. And I see a picture of the house. It's quite a nice home. Unsurprisingly, if it could fit that many people inside of it. But it said one other person, in addition to the 109 kids that were arrested for underage drinking, one other person was reportedly taken into custody and charged with complicity. So I'm assuming that was the adult there that was kind of allowing these shenanigans to happen.
It's the fun dad. It's the mom who's everyone's friend.
Unfortunately, that would appear to be the case. So apparently, according to authorities, they learned that somehow, I don't know how this happened, but the house had been rented out by an 18-year-old, which is typically I'm assuming that they forged their identity to make them appear older. Because I can remember when I was in college, we had difficulty renting houses in college when we were 22, 21. And because of things like this. And on top of this, the day prior on Wednesday, 33 people had been taken into custody at another house party in the Gulf Shores area, bringing the total to 142.
This sounds like local kids that put this together.
Yes,
because if you've got 100 kids that are there, those aren't 100 kids you met on the beach that day.
No, I would assume that was not the case. So over 140 kids were arrested last week in Gulf Shores and ties to 2 different house parties and underage drinking there in the Gulf Shores area. So to your point, Landrum, they are continuing to crack down on the spring breakers. They don't want that.
They don't
going
play.
on. Yeah,
they
don't
do
want
not
that.
play in Gulf Shores, Alabama. They don't. And Orange Beach, for that matter. They police it pretty well. As a kid at spring break age, you say what's the big deal? I get it now. You know, that was part of the drawback from having the Hangout Music Festival is you would bring a lot of that demographic and the damage, the cleanup,
I
the
went
theft,
to that twice.
the theft that would take
Yeah.
place.
Mm-hmm.
It was not worth the economic impact. You had property owners that said no more. So good for Gulf Shores.
Yep. So that is the worst thing that I've seen, but in a lot of people our age's idea, probably the best thing that they've seen.
Wasn't a whole lot of good that was going to come out of that party as someone who used to attend those frequently. I can promise you that. All right, that's going to do it for us. We appreciate all of you. Appreciate all of our guests joining us. Alex Mortensen, UAB. Eli Hoff talking Missouri. And also Mike Griffith talking SEC and college football. Coming up tomorrow, got a loaded up show. You're not going to want to miss it. From all of us to all of you, enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. God is great.